Hello, patrons! Hi, good evening, morning, whenever we get this video up. But
Wherever
it's evening
you
as we
are.
record it, and I can't lie, I can't be dishonest. I can't pretend it's a time it's not, Evertel.
It's evening.
It's evening here in London. What a beautiful, sweaty evening it is as well.
It's very sweaty
It's
today.
about to get a whole lot sweatier, I guess.
To be fair, our wedding was a very sweaty day.
Exactly. Hey, Evertel, what could we be doing right now?
We could be eating our dinner.
That's true. Well, yes.
We could be watching Better Call Saul.
We could do this new episode out today.
Yeah, there's a new episode out today. Or we could be playing WoW.
That's probably what we'd be doing, in fairness. Eating dinner like this.
It's like being fed by a tune.
Yeah, exactly. But we're doing none of those things because
No.
instead we are recording our long-awaited, by us if no one else, wedding Q&A. Because we got mazzered.
We did.
Well, over a month ago now.
Yeah, it's
You
been
can
more
see the
than a month.
photos. Oh, there they are on the screen. They'll be playing through. There's only about 100 of them, so you'll probably see each one about 50 times during the course of this Q&A.
How long is this Q&A going to be?
Well, I don't know how many questions there are. Maybe there are only 3 questions. We can get this done in a couple of minutes.
possible.
But we are going to answer your questions about our wedding that you posted on our post about our wedding.
Yeah.
And we're going to tell you all about it. We're going to tell you about all the fun. We're going to tell you about all of the love. We're going to tell you about all the drama and the fights and No, there was none of that.
We actually didn't have that.
No, do you know what? Okay,
Spoiler.
I was speaking to my mum, right?
Hashtag
I was speaking to
spoiler.
my mum, and she was like, last week another member of our family got married. A member of the family we don't know very well. We weren't invited. But Auntie was invited, my mum's sister,
Oh.
and she was like, I preferred Taliesin and Evertel's wedding.
No.
Because apparently there was loads of fights. Loads of
Are you
fights at the
kidding
wedding.
me?
Yeah, well, apparently it's not a South London wedding unless there's fights. There were no fights at our wedding.
There were
that I
not
remember.
that I know of.
No, actually, maybe they were really secret fights.
There were lots of like hugs, which maybe were a bit of a struggle. Like I don't know if that's a fight.
Well, who did you struggle to hug?
Well, I remember just being
and
kind of
it was
like
quite
bear
sweaty.
hugged by a few people and like.
Oh, I'm not sure I appreciate that. You're my wife. I'm not having that.
Yeah, but it was Maddie though.
Okay, that's fair enough. Well, maybe we'll tell you all about these people. So, as you can see, people there's a picture of your brother on screen now.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's nice, isn't it? He's clapping because he's happy.
No, he's speechifying.
Oh, he is. He's gesticulating, and now he's
just standing up. Actually,
He
to
was
be
like-
honest, that's something that happened quite a
Well,
lot.
he
clapping.
did say everyone clap at
Yeah,
one point.
it's
I'm
true,
sure
it's
what he
true,
said. Anyway,
it's
so
true.
we're gonna answer some questions that were published on like over a month ago now, but we'll answer them, and hopefully that will give like a good sort of picture, like image of what our wedding was like. And
Yeah.
if we feel like that's not enough at the end, maybe we'll just tell you about it as well.
Why
So
not?
without further ado, we're drinking today. Because these are as close to the old hotfix videos as we get these days. These
True.
Patreon videos. So our wine choice for today is a bit of a predictable one, I'm afraid. It's a bit of the old Côte de Rhône
I'm a
from
big
Tesco.
fan.
£6.50
No way.
bargain. It tastes like much better than that, doesn't it?
It does.
Oh, I was
I
happy
can
with
recommend.
that. I was pretty happy with that. And do you know what? It's got a funny shaped bottle, and that's how you know that it's like
Yeah.
a good wine.
Prestige.
Yeah, and like it's like a PvP wine. So
What?
prestige. I know you do so
Yeah, I
little.
do so little
PvP
PvP. I don't
that
even know.
you didn't even get the joke.
It took me exactly.
Not our patrons, of course. They'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because they PvP all the time.
All the time.
Because they are hardcore Hoarder Alliance ballers.
Yep.
We're recording this, by the way, on our new computer, which you can't see because I'm not about to change the mic, the camera
well,
around
maybe
right now.
we'll do like a computer tour eventually.
We will do an
'Cause
office tour. That'll be the next
this
Patreon video we do.
is Sick.
At the moment, you can't see it because we've tied it up just behind us. Oh, you can see the big Illidan box behind us and some other things as
God,
well.
yeah.
But essentially, there's just boxes everywhere
Yeah.
at the moment, all over the office, including this box, which is the backdrop for the new backdrop for the weekly reset.
Very
Because you might have
nice.
seen we had a new backdrop last week. That was a backup because the other one didn't arrive.
Yeah.
So just as well we had a backup, really.
Yeah,
we don't like
seriously.
that one. We're changing that one. This one's a much better one.
It is much better.
But I want to show you this because it arrived here this morning. And as you can see,
Is that our address?
no, as you can see, I've crossed out the address because I anticipated this was about to happen. As you can see on the box, someone somewhere along the line has scribbled "For the Horde."
That's adorable.
It's a
Like
picture of
they
Borealis, so
it's
they
not,
don't
it's
know that
not
much.
like we ordered it from a World of Warcraft specific.
No, we just used our usual print place.
But yeah.
Well, someone obviously clocked that it was a Warcraft picture and was like, So anyway, let's answer these questions.
Let's do it.
The first question that we found on this thread, because obviously lots of people just saying congratulations
You look
and being
cute.
lovely, and you all do look cute. So Heidi Heikula. Oh gosh, this was quite a while ago. I hope some of these people are still patrons.
It's a month
Maybe they're not,
ago.
and they'll
It's
never even know
Look,
that their question was answered.
This is normal wedding timeline. You're not expected to do anything until like a month after the wedding.
It's true. We haven't sent out
Send-
any thanks cards yet,
Those
even for
aren't
people
supposed
that
to
gave us
come out yet.
really nice presents.
Yeah. Those come.
Evertel's
later.
dress is perfect for her, and Taliesin's suit ain't bad either.
Thank you.
I've been stuck in the hospital for the past week, and still for at least 1 to 2 more to come. So you're out now.
Yeah.
Welcome
Hope you're
back.
feeling better.
Hope your eye infection cleared up, and you can watch these now. Everybody's 30 to 60 minutes.
Gosh.
That's hideous. That's
Okay.
like in Clockwork Orange,
Yeah,
where he's
a
being
little bit.
tortured. And it's like, also a wedding question. This is why you're here.
Yes.
What flavour was your wedding cake, and what did it look like? My professional interest is peaking, as I haven't seen any food pictures yet. Well, do you know what? Maybe you've seen a picture already on the screen
Of
just
our
below.
cake.
Maybe, and if not, keep your eyes peeled because you will see it. But Evertel, you were in charge of cake duty.
I was.
You were in charge of a lot of duty.
I was in
really.
charge. I had the duty.
Because there's lots of reasons for this. One, Evertel is like the actual best organizer in the entire world.
It's possible.
You're absolutely incredible, and I'm not. So you kind of like would occasionally ask me for input, and I would be very sparing with that input because I also knew that it was more important that things were how you wanted them necessarily than how I wanted them. But I wouldn't have had something that I didn't want very much. But
Yes.
you know, I was very kind of like laid back about it in that respect. So tell us about the cake because you did an amazing job.
The cake was a lemon cake with lemon curd and lemon filling and
Thing is, right?
lemon buttercream frosting.
So I'm part Italian. And I don't know, I always think that's because of that. I just really love lemons.
no.
Lemons are like my favourite thing in the
It's
world.
weird. I think we've talked about this before, but you do just eat lemons.
Dude, I can eat a whole lemon. I can just like cut it into quarters.
and just literally eat
and
it.
I can eat that mofo.
I mean, with the rind, like chewing
which
the
is
rind.
why I
It's
have
really
literally like
intense.
no enamel on my teeth.
Yeah, probably.
Hey, listen, man, my teeth are in good shape. No fillings or anything like that. But every time
Yeah.
I go to the dentist, she's like, which is every 6 months because I take care of myself. And she's like, you're still eating lemons, aren't you? And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I am. How did you
Yeah,
know? How did you
yeah.
know?
Anyway.
I just really like eating lemons. And lemon drizzle cake is my absolute favourite cake in the world.
Yes.
That'd have been a bit much for a wedding cake.
Well, we thought
So,
about that. You can
yeah.
people do whatever they want for wedding cakes, but we wanted a kind of straight up wedding looking cake, just white Italian meringue buttercream with a hint of lemon everywhere. It was really
Not gonna
good.
lie.
I had it for breakfast for like the week and a half after the wedding.
I had it
every
breakfast
day.
and lunch and dinner.
It was
That implies that not a lot of people
so
ate
good.
our cake, but we got a much bigger cake
No,
than
we
we
got
needed.
yeah. No, we tons
It
of
was
people ate our
really
cake.
nice, and I would go as far as to say, now I'm biased,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd go as far as to say it's the best wedding cake I've ever eaten. But I am
To
biased.
be perfectly honest, I usually hate wedding cake.
Yeah.
I don't like fruit cake. I don't like just like generic cake. I think people have gotten a bit more exciting with wedding cakes recently, but I hate that shit, and I hate hard frosting. I hate it. So we just wanted to
We had
get
none of it.
Yeah.
And
So
it
we
was
just
all
wanted
the
to
good
get
stuff.
a cake that we would definitely like and would want to eat.
The best part of the whole cake, how much did it cost?
100 some quid, which
Sweet.
for a wedding cake.
For a wedding cake was
in
amazing,
London,
by the way.
In London.
Oh, if you think that sounds like a lot, you've obviously never got married.
With delivery and assembly and everything, it was really
Pretty
amazing.
good.
I basically got it from like a cake concierge, where you give out your cake request and then you have about 10 bakers respond, and they're like, Lola will do your cake for this price, and she will do a fragrant buttercream, and you're like,
She did, and it was lovely.
yeah, we didn't go with
not
Lola.
that. Not,
we didn't go
sorry,
with Lola. But,
Sorry, Lola. You did not sell the
it was-
website.
yeah.
The concierge did not sell your website enough.
Yeah. But we did, we had a really, really tasty cake, which I was quite proud of.
One question down.
Here we go.
Have some more wine. I'm going to celebrate.
Here we go.
Fantastic. Now, there's only like 60 comments on this thread, and most of them are congratulations, so I think we're okay.
I think we'll be
we're gonna good.
fine.
It's going to be a good one. Okay, so Proki says, congratulations. I was wondering if something funny / unexpected happened during your wedding.
Something funny.
Oh,
I know
well-
something unexpected, but
Something funny. Well, everything was funny.
Everything was funny.
Because I was there. My speech was, I laughed.
There's a lot of laughing, and there's a lot of crying, and there's a lot of laughing and crying at the same time. I don't know if you can tell from some of these photos, but most people spent most of the time just, it was like this really amazing cathartic moment, and everyone afterwards was like, oh, I had such a good cry. It was great. I feel really good now.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
So just as like maybe some kind of backdrop on the wedding to kind of inform everything else we say, we got married at Shakespeare's Globe in the Swan pub, which is next to Shakespeare's Globe. Now you say the pub, it sounds a bit rubbish, but it's like a really nice restaurant,
nice.
like next to the Globe Theatre on the South Bank.
Did you just say restaurant?
Yeah,
Is that what you said?
Yeah, I think because I'm married now.
It's
That's what we
that
do.
kind of place.
So it's on the South Bank of the River Thames.
Yeah.
So it's like prime. It's Zone 1.
It has a
Zone
view
1.
of St. Paul's.
It's where Shakespeare used to hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see St. Paul's in the window, as you'll see through some of these pictures here, and this beautiful balcony. Here's me doing my speech. Look at everyone laughing at my amazing speech.
Yeah,
See,
I think that was at mine. I did a speech,
Laughs.
by the way.
Well, no one laughed at yours. Everyone was just like, so sweet. No, my speech was also about half an hour because I just went off-piste. But anyway, it was really chilled out. It was really cool. And so it was a beautiful venue, and that kind of did a lot of the work for us. But apart from that, it was pretty informal and pretty kind of, everyone was in suits and all this stuff,
very
obviously.
personal.
And we did hire suits for family members, so they were all dressed the same and stuff like that. But generally, it was really just chilled.
Yeah.
And it was really
great.
nice.
I mean, it was like the perfect day. And I know people say that.
Again,
but,
I'm quite biased.
But it was genuinely like the perfect day for so many reasons. Oh, I thought of, okay, I have a funny and I have an unexpected.
Yeah.
Okay, something funny that happened. My man of honor, because I had a man of honor, he was great, was brilliant and amazing. And the morning of, when I was writing my vows and my speech and finishing everything and being generally quite nervous. I was actually a lot more nervous than I thought I was going to be. I was terrified, actually. You'll see in some pictures as I'm about to go down the aisle, I'm like... Because I'm feeling a lot of things, and I'm this person who's always really in control, and then suddenly it culminates in the thing that you've been planning for so long, and you see all these people and these faces, and it's like everyone's looking at you. Anyway, so yeah, my man of honor was really amazing. He did everything the morning of, and my bridesmaids, everyone was running around doing everything, doing my bidding.
Which is how you like it.
Which is, but it was...
Like, I think that's why you missed the wedding day so much.
Do that. But everyone is so incredible and so helpful. But then when the minute came, so basically I stayed in a hotel about a 5-10 minute walk away from the venue. But then we were like, you know what, it's literally about 100 degrees. It was one of the hottest days ever. And everyone's like, okay, we're going to take some cabs over. It's fine. And my man of honor just literally forgot to book the cab. And it was about 15 minutes to go to the wedding. And he was like, I've done everything, but I didn't, but he's like, it's okay. In the spirit of, everything being okay, we walk outside, and it's me, my mom, man of honor, and we see a black cab standing out there. So
Good old London.
We're like, yes, take me to my wedding. And
it's like a movie.
Yeah, well, exactly. And it was quite sweet and romantic, getting in a London black cab for your wedding. And we get in, and the cabbie was this kind of older guy who was just slightly unresponsive. And I'm just in my head, I'm, frothy veil and everything taking up space in the back of the cab. I'm like, are you going to say anything about the fact that I'm wearing a wedding dress? No, because famously, London cabbies are usually
very talkative,
chatty, funny. I mean, you get the whole
a bit
gamut.
racist.
Yeah, but usually they'll have an amazing chat with you. And the day before, I went in a cab when I was sorting out some flower stuff and being quite stressed, and the dude was just really cheered me up instantly. And so yeah, this guy was a bit unresponsive, and then we were kind of stuck in traffic. So this is 5 minutes away, but we're sitting in traffic, and I'm just like, excuse me. How are we getting, I'm going to my wedding. And he wouldn't respond, or he'd just turn around and be like, and I'm like, dude, if I was driving someone on their wedding, even if it was a stranger, I would, try to at least be kind to them. Anyway, long story short, we finally get there. We're still good to go for time. And then we're getting out, and I'm like, thank you for the lift. Mean man. And then he goes off on my man of honor because we tried to pay with card, and he's like, Now, pretty much all cabs take card now.
They've all
in
card
London.
machines
They all
in
have
them.
card machines, and he was like, well, you should have told me. And he starts whipping it. And it was, I cannot remember a moment when I felt more relieved, hurried, angry, concerned. I felt every emotion in that moment when he shut the door with my man of honor still in the cab to make sure he paid properly, which of course he would. And we're all just standing there. And I'm just like leaning in with my bouquet being like, hey, how's this payment process going? And and he was a right old grump. And I wished
On
him...
your wedding day.
On my wedding day. And I wished him a good day, sir. And then we all...
And then got maddered.
And it was quite funny because, it was a ridiculous thing to happen the moment before your wedding. Anyway, that went on for a while, but it was a good one. Unexpected thing that happened during our wedding. My parents organized a Polish... it's a little tradition where you basically bring out a loaf of bread and you kiss it, and it's like a symbol of having food on the table, but also like the home, and it was really beautiful. They surprised me with that, and they brought it out, and everyone cried.
It was great, and they got my parents to do it, but they hadn't told my parents they were going to do it. So as we were sitting down for the meal, obviously my parents are quite sort of like emotional and in the moment and stuff as well. My dad had given like a reading in the service and stuff.
He was amazing.
And when my dad gave a reading in the service, he read a Polish poem, but in English. Mm-hmm. And our registrar happened to be Polish as well, which we really liked.
Yeah,
she could pronounce
her.
your name right. She when my dad did his reading, the registrar basically just stopped the service and was like, "Wow,
Yeah.
wow, that was, I've got to say, that was so good." That was, and my dad was like, "Well, yes, I am a professional actor."
Yes, so thank you.
Yes,
That was
I mean,
amazing.
I know it was quite good.
Yeah.
But it was great. Anyway, let's move on because Patrick says, how many people objected? No one, and the registrar left it really long.
She did.
Like really
She
long.
was really funny, and I really liked her, and she was quite like playful and serious but relaxed.
And obviously we'd met her before,
great. Yeah.
and we really got on.
And we got a sense of
and,
how she would do it,
and it
she
was
got a
really
sense
cool.
of
And
us,
I think we were very lucky, and she liked that you have Polish blood. And that
we stick together, man.
Yeah, totally. It was really good. No, it was
Yeah.
awesome. So
No one objected.
but the question for the groom is, what joke do you do when they say any objections?
Right.
Because like every groom has to do a different joke.
Right.
Like whether you just go when no one says anything and like
Yeah.
act happy or whatever. But I said I thought we agreed we weren't going to do this bit. It was that kind of wedding.
It was really lovely.
La la la. Oh, hello, Jordan. Wedding queue. Did you get a chance to eat anything once the wedding started? I didn't, and I try to warn people getting married that they won't unless they make special effort, but it falls largely on deaf seem to be hungry ears. Yeah. Did you have breakfast?
Well, yes. Oh, my amazing entourage brought me a beautiful loaf of bread, some salmon and cream cheese.
Oh gosh, that's lovely.
I didn't eat it because I was really nervous and busy, but we ate it the next day, which was great.
So you were hungry then.
I had a coffee the morning of. It's like literally a 7-pound room service coffee that I treated myself to at like 6 that morning.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
That was my wedding.
Because you stayed at the wedding at the hotel that we then stayed in the
Yeah.
night of the wedding.
Yeah.
So obviously it was a really nice hotel because we kind of splashed out. It's one of the things we did.
Yeah.
But I stayed, even though we lived like 20 minutes from the venue.
Yeah.
Like in this flat right
we
here.
wanted
But obviously,
to stay
yeah.
in
And my
somewhere,
family were
yeah.
down from Wales, so I stayed with them in a travel lodge. Literally walking distance from the venue.
Yeah.
2 minutes
So
away.
easy.
Oh, it's
So
so
handy.
good. But it's pretty bog standard. It's like a travel lodge.
Yeah.
And I knew that I would get a breakfast buffet the next morning. So I moseyed on down to have my breakfast buffet. And my family were looking pretty sad. And my dad was like, it turned out, and my dad had to take me to one side and be like, okay, look, someone isn't coming to the wedding today because they died last night. And obviously we're laughing about it now.
Yeah,
And
that
it's
was
like,
an unexpected thing that happened.
my auntie died, who I'm really close to, and I look quite crass about it now, but she had been ill for like months beforehand, and we knew she wasn't going to come, and we knew like that was kind of it, and it was really bad timing.
It was.
To be honest, although because she was really upset, and every time someone went to see her in hospital, she was like, "I've got my dress. I'm ready for the wedding. It's going to be really, really good." And she was very old. She was like much, much older than my mum.
Yeah.
And because she's my auntie-in-law. She was married to my mum's older brother, who was like a good
Much
20
older.
years older
Yeah,
than my mum. Italians. And and so we think that maybe that was the way that she did come, to the wedding. But
and she was cremated in the dress she was going to wear to the wedding.
Yes,
because she was
actually.
so excited about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, she was, wasn't
So
she?
so we think of that of her way as being there.
Yeah, so that was a bit weird, but it meant that I did have a nice breakfast,
There you go.
like a proper buffet.
That's very nice.
And then the problem was when I got to the venue, I got there. The ceremony was at 1, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. But the venue opened at like 12, and so the actual venue we got married was the room right at the very top with the beautiful balcony that you've seen photos of, and you'll see more photos of once these lovely like post ceremony photos are done with.
Nice.
And downstairs is a very busy bar where people go to before the show starts in the Globe Theatre. If you don't know what the Globe Theatre is, by the way, it's like a recreation of Shakespeare's Globe from like the actual 16th century. Which is just incredible
amazing.
and so good, and like a major tourist attraction in the UK, and like absolutely huge, and beautiful as well. It's where we went on our second date to see
Henry
V. Yeah.
Yep.
Ah, brilliant.
Yeah.
And it rained and it was terrible. We were like one of 3 people in the entire audience, and all of the actors really hated us for even being there.
Yeah.
It was like, if you go home, we can stop this shit.
It was
and we
a
can
really
go...
good date.
Yeah, it was a great date. It was really good. Sorry, Alexa has just started talking in the kitchen. Stop it, Alexa.
Does she ever do? Oh my god.
Well, anyway.
So
like,
that's another
and people
story.
arriving obviously from 12, and as the groom, I was thinking it's my job to be there and sort of greeting people and like hanging out, and some friends that I hadn't seen for absolutely years, and one of my best friends who I hadn't seen for about 3 years and who I only ever see once every couple of years at most, who came from Denmark with her husband, her partner, and her like 2
Beautiful
babes in arms,
babies.
and she said she was going to come, but she never officially replied.
But she came still,
so
like, suckling
we kind of
on.
assumed that she wasn't going to come.
Yeah.
And obviously we'd arranged for her to be there and stuff, but like, and when she turned up, it was like, so brilliant. But what that meant was, because we were down in a bar, people kept, because what you do for the groom, you buy him a drink. So you do if you're British, and so people just kept buying me drinks, and I had 3 best men, so each of them felt like they had to get me a drink, even though we hadn't even started yet. So my brother, who was one of my best men, was like, "Drink, mate?" I was like, "Yes, fine." And then my kind of best woman, who was like took the role of the actual best man, Ruth, who you'll see photos of, she came up and she's like, "Drink?" I was like, "Yeah." And Adam was like, "Drink, drink." So I was like, I can't get drunk before my wedding. This is terrible, but I can't be impolite. It was really weird. Anyway.
But anyway, we did end up having a great meal. What they call here the wedding breakfast, which confused me for a very long
'Cause it was
time
like
because I
3
thought it was
PM.
the breakfast after the day of the wedding. It's not. It's the dinner. But we had kind of a midday 3 p.m. meal, which we knew was great because it was the restaurant where we ate before the night we got engaged.
Oh, yes.
So
Yeah, also.
we knew that the food was going to be amazing. And so, yes, we did have a really good meal.
Yeah. And then evening snacks,
Oh.
fish finger sandwiches.
Yeah.
But like high-end fish finger
Yeah,
sandwiches.
they're like in these,
They're so good.
again,
Oh
what
my
you call
God,
here
they're so
baps,
good. Oh.
like big, crusty, soft buns full of fish fingers / portobello mushrooms and cheese.
Oh yeah, for the veggie option. But even though I'm veggie, I was meat eater that day because I was like, I'm not having
Yeah,
it. Oh,
my dress is
sad.
covered in like little crumbs
Is
and
it?
stains from, it's at the dry cleaners now. It's covered in all kinds of stuff, it picks up things throughout the day. But the food was great. And then, of course, there's cake.
Amanda says, I have a question. Why are you 2 guys literally the cutest couple I've ever seen?
I don't know.
Because she's really cute and she kind of brings me up with her.
I don't know.
It's like, because you look at us and you go,
here.
God, well, she's definitely really cute, so I guess he must be as well? Because otherwise it wouldn't make any sense. So even though I guess he must, it's like,
I'm trying to think of a good
you
parallel.
know when you were much younger and you were like, you gave a shit about really stupid stuff, and so if someone was asking you out and like you weren't entirely sure if you liked them or whatever, but
That never happened to me.
You kind of like assess their friends a little bit, and you go, how attractive are their friends? Because that will tell me something about how attractive they
Oh,
are.
I get what you mean.
Do you know
that
what I mean?
never happened to me because no one ever asked me out.
That's
But-
such a lie! You were in the newspaper when you got a place in your Ivy League university,
Yeah.
your local newspaper, and
That was
some
different.
some Chad literally
That
like
was
called
different.
you and was like, "Hey, I saw you in the newspaper. Maybe we should
It's
make
different.
out." And
He
you got
emailed
cooties.
me. I got cooties.
I didn't
I got mono.
I didn't
I
even
got
think
mononucleosis.
I didn't even think that was a real thing until you told me this story.
Cooties. I
Does
was
that mean?
knocked out.
Hang on. Do I have mono?
Everyone has it to some degree. Most people do.
I can't believe I've got mono.
But yeah, I was
gonna
literally
start
in
a
the
GoFundMe
hospital
to
for
get
the
treated for
summer.
mono.
Kids, don't make out with people the summer before you go to college because it might ruin your life forever.
Didn't ruin your life though, did it?
No, it didn't.
But it might have done.
It might. Very close.
Is this a question? Oh, right. Okay, we've answered this. First,
Yeah.
for Tori, firstly, venue looked really interesting. Whereabouts was it in London?
Yeah.
Second, how did Evertel choose her dress? It is so gorgeous.
Thank you. I actually got my dress from eBay, but it's from J. Crew.
I'll have more wine.
Yeah, have some
Sorry.
more wine. I really struggled with the entire dress process because I'm not a huge like sparkle fishtail lace. I did not want to wear lace. I just did not want like embellishments and stuff. And so anyway, when I was a kid, I remember looking through these J. Crew magazines back in the States, and they always had a wedding section, and the brides always looked so like free and natural but gorgeous, and I just really liked it. Obviously, we get engaged, and I Google this after trying on many like confections that were not anything I would ever wear. And of course, J. Crew has stopped making wedding dresses the year before. So I found this dress on eBay. I ordered a couple of them, sent to my house over Christmas when I was visiting my family, so I could be there. I tried it on with my mom, and I put the dress on, and it was the perfect size, and it fit, and I didn't need anything altered except just the hem a little bit taken up, and that was it. And we were both just like, this is
Oh,
really good.
great.
Yeah. My mom was like, this dress was kind of made for you, and I was like, yeah, I love it. And I'm comfy in it, and
Oh, what a fitting photo to be
And
on the screen right now.
I didn't have to wear a bra, which was something I didn't want to have to worry about on the day.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, bollocks. Okay, so something
there
else
a
we could have been.
game?
Yeah, Swansea City are playing Leeds right now.
Sorry.
And we were 1-0 up, and now we're 1-1. Anyway, that's okay.
Yeah, so that was my dress story.
Brett. Oh no, congratulations. Oh, Clayton.
Yeah.
Do you have a question, Clayton?
Yes. Wedding question. What was the cake? We did talk about
Oh, we've done that one.
wedding
Excellent.
cake, groom's cake. We didn't have two separate cakes. I don't know if that's a thing people do.
Not over here, really.
No,
to
we
be
had
honest.
one big cake between us.
And Clayton, by the way, sorry, we'll be replying to your recent email very soon.
Yes.
Congrats. You look gorgeous.
Thank you.
Oh, tell us about your wonderful Spain trip.
Oh.
Says Dylan.
Spain was so great. We went for 2.5 days, basically.
Yeah. It wasn't a lot, but
No.
so and because it was a very short trip, because our actual honeymoon is going to be in Japan next year, which is
Yeah.
obviously going to be incredibly expensive. And I don't know about you, Evertel, but this year's already been expensive enough.
I know.
Like what with getting Mazard,
Yeah.
And this beautiful PC right next to us.
Yeah, and then BlizzCon, it's
my
it's an
goodness.
expensive year.
Yeah, exactly. So we will. Oh, by the way, we've kind of finalised this now. We will be at BlizzCon.
Yeah.
This year.
However it happens.
By hook or by crook.
We will be there.
We're gonna be there.
Book the hotel.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
We don't have tickets yet, but fingers crossed for a press pass.
Yeah.
Because,
We are the press.
yeah, and if we don't get one, we'll just try and get some scalp tickets while we're there.
Exactly. Or just
But we will
kill
be there. We
two
will
of
be
you
there, so
and
we'll be
take your
hanging out,
tickets.
and people can come and meet us and say hi
Yeah.
and hang out with us like they did
Yeah.
last year, and it was awesome.
And maybe we will have a special edition T&E shirt that you can buy before BlizzCon.
We definitely will have two, I reckon, because I got some good ideas for our T&E shirts this year. Our special BlizzCon shirts.
Yeah.
Anyway, oh God, what was the question? Oh, right, Spain trip, yeah. So we thought for our little mini-moon, it was weird because we got married. Evertel's parents visited for the first time ever.
Ever.
Obviously, we go and see them every Christmas, but they'd never been here before, and I think they had some wild ideas about what our lives were like here in London. I think they thought we lived like this amazing boho lifestyle, which of course we do, but just because we live in a big city, it was really nice for them to come here, but they stayed for like a week before.
Yeah.
In our room, and we stayed on our amazing sofa bed.
Quite
You say
nice
sofa
sofa
bed, it doesn't sound good,
It's
but our
really
sofa bed's
nice.
really good.
It's really nice.
And then they essentially stayed for a week afterwards as well.
Yeah.
So it
And
was.
we were escorting people like to the airport every
Yeah,
day. Literally every day someone was leaving. So it's like
It was a very multinational wedding. People came
Yeah.
from all over.
Yeah.
And it was really nice a week after we got married just to get out and hang out just
For a few days.
And it was kind of the first time it had been just us
Yeah.
since our actual wedding. Though.
since even like a week before our wedding.
Yeah.
So so it was brilliant. We went to Marbella, which we've been to before, and we stayed in the old town, and we just ate amazing food,
We did.
drank, lounged on sunbeds,
Yeah.
fell asleep, and got sunburnt on our backs.
We stayed in this
horribly.
amazing hotel right in the old town, which we got up. It was a nice hotel anyway. It only had
was
like 6
cute.
rooms.
Yeah,
in
it was like a little
and it's
B&B.
run by these 2 little women who were just amazing.
Which I'm hoping were lesbians.
Oh,
'cause
they
they're
definitely
so
were.
sweet. I love them.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
But they upgraded us to the penthouse suite, which had
had a roof terrace.
It had a roof terrace, which you had to go upstairs to get to. It was
Yeah.
incredible, and it was so good. It
was
had like
so
2 rooms, 2
relaxing.
bedrooms.
Yeah.
So if we had an argument, which thankfully we didn't, but if we had split up, we could have stayed in different rooms.
yeah.
Been absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Thankfully that didn't happen. And also because we've been there before, we know the old town really well and
Yeah.
stuff. There was no kind of even exploring. It was just a place we knew that we could hang out and get some good food and get some good drink and
Some sun.
and this amazing, incredible, random religious festival that was happening there.
So we had a brilliant dinner just like right by the seaside, literally right by it. Where also, so the room upgrade just happened. We didn't tell them we were engaged or married.
By that point.
Yeah. We didn't tell them that we were like mini mooning, and they just randomly upgraded us. And then we go and we have dinner, this place by the sea, and they just show up with these 2 flutes of champagne, and we're like, cool. And they're like,
I say by the sea. It's right on the
It's
beach.
right on the-
Like you're pretty
it's-
much like
it's
eating on the
on-
sand, and it's incredible, and it's so good.
was
And the
so
food
gorgeous.
was like the best food
Food
we
was
had there.
amazing. And then we were like, oh, okay, they must just kind of bring champagne to everyone. They didn't. It was just us,
we
and we
watched every
still
other couple that came
and
in.
we still don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because they thought we were cute.
Maybe because they were like for the horde.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, we had this amazing meal, and then as we walked back, we ran into this procession for the Virgin del Carmen,
Yes.
which was an incredible.
Look this up. Our Lady
Look it
Star
up.
of the Sea. She's like
Yeah.
the patron saint of Marbella.
Yeah,
and, it's
and a
this
fisherman.
so good.
And it was it was amazing. Google it.
Yeah, seriously. Lots of lovely comments.
Yeah.
Which we did read through when you did them. Thank you.
Yeah.
Artenice, is there a question in here?
Yeah. No.
No,
there's
no
not a
question there.
in
Just being lovely. Thank you.
Here we
I was
go.
wondering whether you had any specific cultural traditions at your wedding. Oh, I got distracted. We didn't actually finish talking about this, but your parents' bread thing.
Yeah.
I was incredibly impressed with my parents because your mum literally just turned around as food was about to come out.
Yeah.
And was like, "We need you."
Wait.
And my parents were like, "Okay." And bearing in mind, my parents had just met your parents the night before.
2 nights before.
2 nights before.
Would they've Skyped before?
Yes, 2 nights before. They had Skyped, yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, okay. And had this loaf of bread, and you have to like bring the loaf of bread over to the table, and then you all have to like kiss the loaf of bread or something.
Yeah.
Did we have to kiss the loaf of bread? I
We
can't remember.
kissed the bread.
The whole day is a blur. To
Yeah.
me, to be honest.
Same. But yeah, we kissed the bread. And it was
I was so impressed with how serious my parents took it because they were like,
it was a
I know, but you could tell they were actors and they were very good about it. They presented it very well.
They could have laughed if they thought it was funny.
No, I know, but they didn't want to.
No, but they
were
did.
like,
They did very
yeah.
well. It's funny because I didn't know this was happening, but I had a feeling it might happen because there's a little cafe just down the street from us where we'd had breakfast with my family.
Which I can see right
Yeah,
now.
and they loved it. It's a really nice cafe. They also have really good bread, and so I remember there's like my brother would be like, "The bread here is really good, Mom," and then she'd be like, "Yes, the bread is very good," and then like like they'd have a chat like off in the corner about like the bread, and I was like, "Does this?" Because I vaguely knew about something to do with bread as a Polish tradition. And I love it that they just did it
Yeah.
and they went with it and they got it from the cafe down the street from us.
Because I'm not sort of lessening your culture here, but you're probably the least Polish of your family. In that you're the only one that wasn't born there.
Yeah, I'm the only one that wasn't born there. I'd say I'm more. Well, It's a tricky subject. I do feel very like I like culturally identify very much as a Polish person as well as an American in a lot of ways.
It's the same with me in Italy and stuff.
Yeah.
And with Brexit, I will be getting my Italian passport.
Yeah, and I lived there for a year, and it's I do feel like it's a really core part of my identity. And if you like mention Chopin or something, I'll just cry. So like but it was amazing to have that.
Oh my god, sorry. This question is from Emily, who's one of our favourites, who we love. And she says, my mum is English, my dad is Danish. That's why I like Emily so much. Never met a Danish person I didn't like.
There you go.
And I've met a lot of Danish people. Emily, so good to hear you're Danish. That makes me like Emily even... I didn't think I could like Emily even more, but I actually do. Wow, what are Danish wedding traditions? I wonder. We should have asked the Danish people that came to our wedding.
We should have.
Yeah. Anyway, so Flying Buttress. Any questions here? No, but was it you, Flying Buttress, who made that amazing photo of Khadgar at our wedding? Because that was really good. Thank you.
Also, can I just say that someone posted our wedding photo on the WoW Reddit, and it instantly became like one of the most popular posts of that month.
Yeah, pretty good, wasn't it?
Cool perk.
But because it was so popular, partly because a lot of people going, "Who are these people?
Who are they?
I don't care about YouTube.
Why do
I don't care about YouTube. I don't care. What is YouTube? I don't even care. I like WoW, but I don't like YouTube."
Yeah.
That's what I love about any time we get posted on like Reddit or something. It's better than the time we were on 4chan. That was intense.
Oh, it happens now.
Yeah. So Philippa Norris says, loving the pictures. Evertel's mum looks so sweet in that one of you questions. In
great.
what ways did WoW leak into your big day? Oh, do you know what, right?
Yeah.
I was so up for having... Okay, there's a couple of ways I kind of wanted to have like our fantasy things in our wedding, which all got poo-pooed. I was like, let's have... Because you were talking about wedding favours. Now... Wedding favours are a thing in this country now because of the American influence, but for someone who's quite old school like me, wedding favours aren't even a thing. I don't even know what you're talking about when you say wedding favours. I go to a wedding and I get a nice meal and I get a good old cry and I get a good dance. And if we're lucky, like at our wedding, we get some free drinks as well.
Heck yeah.
Because that was actually, I was saying how I was all like, just do it how you want it. But the one thing I was adamant about was that it had to be a free bar.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want anyone paying for their drinks all day.
Yeah, we wanted people to feel taken care of.
I was really pleased that... Because when you get to our age, friends get married all the time. Mm-hmm. And, like, our wedding was one of, like, 5 or 6 weddings that people will be going to this summer.
Oh, God, yeah.
And it's expensive to go to people's weddings. And that doesn't make them any less good. But, you know, every summer... I go away and stay in hotels and go to people's weddings. And it's expensive, you know. And I was like... It was really cool when you said you wanted our wedding to be in London.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that's brilliant. Because it means people
can
can get
party.
there
and
they can chill out. And I was like, also, I'd like us to have free drinks. So people never have to pay for a drink. And we did. We had free beer and wine.
We did.
Which was excellent.
Yeah.
And I was really happy about that. But wedding favours are a completely alien concept to me. But I was like, okay, cool. If we're going to have wedding favours, why don't we get little, like, Warhammer models? Like little Warhammer models that people can have, like that come in their little wedding favour bag, and that was poo-pooed.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, well, why don't we get like little Warcraft, like some kind of Warcraft imagery on our cake or something, just like a little tiny thing, and that was poo-pooed. So I was like, okay, that's fair enough. We don't want Warcraft to kind of come into our wedding day.
Yeah. But can I just say very quickly, Evatel's top tip for weddings. People don't give a poo about wedding favours. Like,
no, they really don't.
They really don't.
Isn't this what I kind of said?
I spent a lot of time thinking. I thought, maybe we could do like old paperbacks of books that we like, and blah 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 blah. And I eventually bought like 5,000 little plastic sticks and mints and dried flowers. Which actually, these are really cute. You can make like dried flower lollipops. Which they look really beautiful.
Because like you thought, in the days leading up to our wedding, we won't have anything to do. Yeah, we'll have loads of time to make these lollipops.
They're actually not very labour intensive, but at the end of the day,
them, did we?
I didn't make it. Literally bought chocolates, Ferrero Rocher, the day before from the supermarket.
Everyone loves Ferrero Rocher.
Everyone loves
even the people in the venue who were putting them out were like, oh, like, nice.
And
Ferrero Rocher.
it was And it was like, to me, the day before, I literally could not care. And, you know, we were never gonna order like plastic martini glasses with our name on them. Admittedly, some people are really good with doing favors, and I think that's great if you want to do that. But if you're gonna drop anything from your wedding, just like don't even bother with that stuff.
Can I just say, and like, I'm just making the most of this, like, this is one of the very few times I can say I was totally right about something.
You were, yeah.
Because I was like,
it's true.
Don't bother with
You
that.
were so right. And I remember the morning of, I went to the morning before, I went to the grocery store to get some last things and just stuff and supplies. And I was like, okay, gotta find something. Saw Ferrero Rocher, 3 for $2, buying them. They're gold. They match the theme. They look good. I love them. Yeah.
More importantly, you just like them.
I do, exactly. They're
Ferrero
really
Rocher,
yummy.
great.
Like,
and
I'm
then
gonna eat
we had
them.
loads of Ferrero Rocher afterwards.
Yeah.
And we were like, brilliant. I love Ferrero Rocher.
that.
This is the best day ever.
Yeah. So that's a aside. But WoW did leak into our day because so I gave a speech, which was very important to me because I wanted to, you know, say things. And it was the last speech, so I wrapped things up.
Because we had
And
so many speeches.
We had
as
a
well.
lot of speeches.
'Cause
But we'll get to this.
Yeah.
But I included a bit about kind of, you know, wherever we are, you know, be it, because I talked a bit about books and, you know, it had a theme. There is a theme. And I did name check Middle Earth, and I did name check Azeroth.
Which was delightful. And I'm
Yeah.
really glad you did that.
And it was because I was just talking about, like, wherever we are, that, you know, whatever adventures we go on next, that we'll always do them together now. And I'm going to get emotional.
Except we've been leveling in different rooms. That was
Exactly,
actually a
we
lie.
have, actually.
We've been leveling in
I've
different
been
rooms with BFA, so we didn't spoil it for each other. So actually,
Yeah.
what you said in your in your speech was an absolute lie.
We are still in Azeroth together.
We're still in the same guild. Yeah.
We're still in the same, yeah.
What was your favourite moment?
So my favourite, generally I had two. One was when our vows to each other, which we both wrote, and which were really personal and special, and I loved that. And then I loved...
That's another moment, by the way, when the registrar stopped the service. And
Yeah,
was like,
she was like,
"Damn.
these are the best vows I've ever heard.
Yeah, and then like the other woman who was there
And
as
she
well
was
was
like, yeah.
they're best.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure they say that to everyone, but it meant
But
a lot.
it felt real when they said that. They were literally like, this is the best ever. And you're like, thank you. Good. We wouldn't have any less. I loved our vows, obviously, because it was a really great moment. And I loved, I'm sure in the pictures you've seen them, but when you see us kind of standing, talking to each other, look at the faces of the people, especially the people on like my side, because they're literally like, it's really sweet. Everyone's bawling. I
It's
loved
great.
that. And then my other favorite moment, which was really just a big moment, but it was the speeches, because we had some absolutely incredible speeches from our friends and our family, and that was like they could not have been more perfect.
So who started? Your dad.
My dad.
I kind of acted as like a last minute MC.
Yeah.
Because we suddenly realised we had no one to
We
kind of
didn't have
introduce
anyone
stuff.
to- yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll do it. And I got up and I was like, hey everyone, it's me.
It's me.
Taliesin. And your dad did this like beautiful, which my mum still talks about to this day. I talked to my mum on the phone like last night, and she was like, "By the way, I just want to say one more time how brilliant Evertel's speech was.
Yeah.
It was Evertel's dad's speech was. It was incredible.
It was awesome. My dad.
She didn't
again,
mention your speech,
My
but I'm
dad
sure
is
she loved it.
good. Yeah. My dad is very Polish, and English is his second language. He didn't start learning it until later in life, and his speech was way better than anything I could have written. It was
beautiful.
genuinely amazing.
And it was beautiful because it didn't even try to be anything.
No, it was just
else. It was
like
just
this.
like,
It was
I'm happy.
just perfect.
This is great.
And then my brother gave a great speech.
Yeah.
And he was joking about he was going to either do a toast or a roast.
I was all up for the roast, man.
I know, but then the tone felt right
Yeah,
for
yeah,
a toast, and it was amazing and beautiful and totally my brother.
It was a bit of a roast as well, in
And
fairness.
then there were roasty moments. He can't help himself. And
And then your man of honor.
my man of honor, Jason, gave an absolutely incredible speech delving into our...
So his speech was like an academic paper.
Yeah, because he's an academic, and so it was it really felt like that, and it opened with like a bit about the nature of language and words and what they mean.
But the whole second half of it was basically just reading verbatim, like
transcripts of our G chats from when I first met Taliesin, and really everything in them. Then they didn't get raunchy or anything, but there was a bit where I say that you're a good kisser. But it was so beautiful, and of course at some point I say that I'm gonna marry this person, and it's amazing to have heard those words like said back.
Yeah, it
like,
was incredible.
It was
so good.
It was beautiful. And then
my best woman, Ruth.
Which
who
again
surprised all of us, I think.
Was,
because like, okay, so I love Ruth. She's like one of my best friends, and even though I haven't known her as long as most of the people in that room, I've only known her for like 5-6 years. 7-8 years actually. Sorry, yeah, because I've known her longer than you.
Yeah.
But she was like the first one of my friends that you met, and I was living with her when we met, and in this crazy warehouse, which is an incredibly intense situation, and both of us were at really bad points in our lives, and we both kind of, from that moment, kind of set our trajectories into better places, and we're still neighbours now, we still live really close to each other, which is amazing. And she's brilliant, she's a filthy drunk, and the stag do was crazy.
Maybe we'll do another.
Oh my god! There's so many, because I had 3 best men, but she was like the main best man.
Yeah, she's the main best man.
And the amount of times we went out in Bristol for our stag do, for my stag do, and she's one of those people that has a switch, and she gets drunk, and then she's fine, and she's fine, and she's fine, and she's fine, and then suddenly she's not fine, and suddenly she's causing all kinds of shit, and that happened quite quickly on our trip in Bristol. And the amount of times I had to physically restrain her because people were going to start fights with her, because she was like, she had these water pistols which she filled with beer, and she was like, everywhere we went she was just spraying people in the face with them. She's like, drink the beer, and we're like, no, don't do that, Ruth.
That being said, she is really amazing.
But she gave this incredible speech,
oh my God.
and it was so good, and I was so proud of her, and I was so like moved, and it was just brilliant.
Yeah, there was a really great bit where talking about like a one-man show that Taliesin did, and I, helped out with it in a small way, and she delivered the most beautiful punchline, which was like, and there was a moment when I realized that you're no longer a one-man show, and everyone was like,
yeah, it was good. She was amazing, and her and your man of honor was so helpful for that day as well.
Yeah, they were
so great.
They were unbelievable. And then of course you gave a speech.
Oh yeah,
and I gave a speech.
I'd already written half of my speech because I rather foolishly took my old notebook to write my speech in, which, by the way, this is the notebook that I wrote the first ever Taliesin Nevertell videos in. Oh. If you've ever watched our first 2 videos, which is the things to do before Legion, and funniest quests in WoW.
Oh wow!
Which, by the way, is the first time we went to Marbella, is when I was writing that.
Yes, I remember that.
Like many years ago. The notebook is full of those scripts, so I thought. It's also where I keep all my passwords for like every internet account I have. And it's also where I write notes on like the kids shows that I used to work on when I was still doing directing and stuff.
Man.
And
so it's just full of stuff.
Seriously. And like somewhere in here is the beginnings of my speech.
Yeah.
And there weren't as many pages as I thought. So I kind of left it at that. And then I thought, I'll just impro it.
Yeah.
I'll impro it.
Yeah.
So the first like 3 or 4 minutes of my speech were brilliant and really funny. And then I just kind of improvised, and it kind of went off piece. It's still good. So yeah.
And then I gave my speech.
And it was amazing.
Which I was quite proud of.
That was beautiful. And you're so good at writing. You're like a professional writer.
I honestly love that chance just to be able to share how I actually think and feel through words that I've written.
You're a very succinct writer, which is what I like about you. When I write,
I don't agree with that.
I am technically a professional writer. But like my style of writing is I fill everything with as many superfluous words as possible, which is why it makes me laugh.
That's what I do.
No. When I read like comments on our YouTube videos and people are like, he says too much. He takes too long to say a simple thing, and I'm like, yes, that's exactly what I'm supposed to do. Like that's exactly what it's supposed to be, because that makes me laugh and I like it, and I just like using too many words. And you're like kind of the opposite. You use like really good words, but you use them incredibly sparingly, and I really like that. And what you say and what you write is like so efficient. And people think, I'm not comparing you to Shakespeare. I am actually comparing you to Shakespeare right now, but like Shakespeare's my thing, and people think that Shakespeare is like me in that he spends a lot of time, he spends too many words to say something very short.
Nah, man.
But actually he's the opposite. Like Shakespeare is so efficient. If you try and write Shakespeare in modern day language, it takes like 3 times as long, like 3 times as many words, because he does it so efficiently. And you're kind of like that. Basically, what I'm saying is...
nicest thing I think
basically, what I'm
anyone's
saying
ever
is you
said
are
to me.
Shakespeare.
Thank you.
Except without, like, the bald pate and the... Thank goodness.
Sure.
Because I wouldn't love you otherwise.
Last question here. Will Evitel be taking your surname, or will you both be double barreling?
We don't even know
We haven't
yet.
decided yet.
Honestly, it's so weird. We haven't even thought about it. Well, we have, and we've talked about it. We haven't come to any kind of... Because, like, it's not my choice, obviously, because, like...
Well, you're just going to keep your name.
Well,
You're
obviously,
not going to
I've made my choice. I'm just going to
Yeah.
keep my name.
Yeah.
So, like,
And so
how
I
can
might,
I even
I
say
might
you
double
should do
barrel,
something? Yeah.
or I might just keep my
You
name.
just keep yours. It's fine. Like,
Yeah.
who cares?
But I like the idea of double barreling. It's just not. Yeah, it's we're
Yeah.
we're pretty flexible about it.
Spain was lovely.
Yes,
Thank
it was
you.
lovely. Oh, happy 22nd anniversary, Jason. Da, 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 da. Nice transmog. Thank you.
Yes, Millennium Bridge in the background.
Yeah, Millennium Bridge and St. Paul's.
Which we call in London the Wibbly Wobbly Bridge. Because when it was first opened, I think in 2000, it was either 2000 or 2001, they hadn't secured it properly. So when people started, and it links the South Bank to St. Paul's, it's like a complete, and like millions of people walk over it every day probably, or at least tens of thousands. And when people first started walking over it, it started to sway because it hadn't been secured properly, and they had to like literally evacuate the bridge. So we call it so in London, because that's what we do. We just call it the Wibbly Wobbly
The
Bridge.
Wibbly
now.
Wobbly Bridge.
Yeah.
I love it.
Congratulations! Oh,
Yeah.
Naomi was a new patron. Now she's quite an old school patron.
Yeah, very old
because it's
now.
so old.
Okay, keep going, keep going,
Yes,
keep going.
congratulations,
More?
congratulations. Right.
Ooh, for this Q&A, I would like to ask, what is the biggest advice you can give for the big day?
Oh, Mikkel, I'm so sorry. You are now married.
You are now married.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I hope it worked, even without our advice.
Yeah.
Please let us know in the comments to this video how your wedding went and what it was like.
I would love to know.
What is the biggest advice?
being
You've
said,
given some pretty good advice. for
I've
the big
given
day.
some throughout this.
Don't bother with the favours, basically. is what
Yeah,
we're
don't
saying.
bother with the favors. I would just say do like, and this will kind of come naturally when you're planning and stuff. Just like do what is you. And that's something we also got. We got everyone being like, this wedding felt really like you guys.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like a fairy tale. It was a fairy tale. It was a fairy tale. But it didn't feel like it was some kind of package that we just kind of bought into. It was.
Even though it said it kind of was.
I mean, in some.
They took care of us
Yeah,
very well.
yeah. They
But
took care of us. They fed us. They did all that stuff.
When we first started looking for venues, we were looking at we didn't really know what we wanted. And in the back of your head somewhere was like this idea that it was the first time your parents and your family were ever coming to Britain, and you wanted to kind of show off to them a little bit and to kind of show them that everything was okay, and you know. So we were looking at like big country estates and
old houses
and like the kind of things that people do for their weddings.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised when we saw the Swan.
Yeah.
And you were like this.
Yeah.
And I was
it's
really
just a
happy. I was
room.
really
It's
like, because
just a
that's
room.
totally what I wanted.
Yeah. But the space meant something to us, and the area meant something to us, and it just made sense in a way that other stuff didn't.
So I guess the advice would be true to yourself.
Yeah, seriously, just do what you want. Like, don't feel pressure from wedding magazines or the entire like wedding industrial complex. Just do what feels right for you.
So Mikkel and
relax and enjoy yourselves.
Maya, what do you reckon? However your beautiful brides, because Mikkel's pretty hot. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
However your beautiful bride's name is pronounced, I hope it was wonderful. And please get back to us. And
Yes,
let us know how it
please
was.
let us know.
Wedding Q&A from Valty31. What is the hardest thing to plan in a wedding? Me and the fiancé have just started looking at venues. That was pretty hard.
Yeah, venues were hard, but once we chose, everything else fell into place.
Yeah.
I also thought that I talked about this a bit before, but wedding dresses were hard because I feel like, one, there's a lot of pressure to look a certain way or do a certain thing. Also, you know, as a woman, as a person, when you try on these different dresses, I went through a bit of a crisis of like identity because I was like, am I a sexy bride? Like, am I kind of a relaxed boho bride? Like, suddenly the idea of my wedding dress was that it was something that was supposed to represent me 100%. And in the end it did, because it was like nice and braless and casual and still a little bit elegant.
I'd say braless pretty much sums you up, to be honest.
You know?
From the hardest part, unexpectedly, because I thought this was going to be one of the fun things,
Yeah.
was seating plans.
Oh! F that. I didn't. That was actually
That was so hard.
That was actually hard. It didn't take too long. It was like a day of when we were going back and forth, and we're like, but that was hard.
Yeah, and then on the actual wedding day, because I didn't actually tell Camille about like the death in the family until we'd already got married and we were having like a little champagne reception. And I took it on one side. I was like, I have to tell you about this. Auntie Jackie died. And the reason I have to tell you about this is we have to reorganise some tables because there's like 6 people that aren't at this wedding right now because Auntie Jackie just died. And it was really difficult. And so we had to
it was fine in the end. It was fine in the end.
But
when that happened, I was like, I didn't think I even heard the part about Auntie Jackie. I just heard we need to rearrange the tables, and I was like, what?
So Scott says, did you ask the priest if he was a dispriest or a holy priest? Of course, not a priest. Because we got it was a civil ceremony because it wasn't a religious ceremony at all. To the extent that we weren't allowed to have any religious references at all.
So even like, that we had a harpist, which I loved.
By the way, that was one of my favourite things. Something we didn't mention.
Yes.
Our harpist played Joanna Newsom.
Yeah, she
obviously
played
we told her to.
She played a Joanna Newsom song as we processed.
Because we didn't even think about that. We had a harpist because the music that you walked down the aisle to was the Swan.
Yeah.
Which is very fitting because we're at the Swan, and I'm from Swansea, and also because it's a really beautiful piece of music.
And it's written by Camille Saint-Saëns.
Oh, goodness.
It's,
which is great. Sense. And I thought, since we have a harpist, it'd be stupid not to have her play Joanna Newsom.
Yeah.
Since that's like... we both love Joanna Newsom. Yeah. And what other chance do you ever get to get someone to play some Joanna Newsom?
Yeah.
And she lapped that up. She was like, yes!
We sent her an arrangement and she did it. And it's so funny because we were both so like...
What was the track that she played?
83.
83.
And in it, like, we were just so in it. And
which is also the year I was born, because I'm so old. She does have a track called Swansea, which has a really nice like instrumental part, which we were thinking of. But actually, we really liked
83. It's a really beautiful song. And is it called 83?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even
maybe
think
it's 82.
Oh.
It might be 82, actually.
God, whatever.
It's the one that
about
is like
the Garden of Eden.
So we were like, let's not tell the registrar what the lyrics of the song are, because she might think it's religious.
Yeah. But so we had this harpist play that, and actually we forgot that was happening until it happened, and then we were both like...
Because it was as we were leaving.
And we were like, oh.
And someone threw confetti over us, which wasn't really allowed, but we were like, yeah, brilliant.
But it was still so sweet. Anyway, so the harpist couldn't even play like Ave Maria. They couldn't just play Bach because it was religious.
Really? Is that a fact?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Gosh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's a...
But it's kind of the law. And like, and that's not... the British government being down on religion. That's like religion being down on the British government.
Yeah.
That's like religious venues going, hey, look, man, if you're going to allow weddings in other places, you have to make it so that only we're allowed to do religious stuff.
Exactly.
So which is fair enough. Like, and none of us care about that sort of stuff already. So it was,
The pictures have stopped.
Sorry. Okay, so the size of the picture in the corner might have just changed because we just did our first cut.
Yeah, we did.
Because the slideshow ran out, so we're starting it again. Because it didn't just repeat, which I was really annoyed by.
It didn't.
Damn you, OBS.
Anyway.
So yes, again, Valti 31.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And good luck with it all.
Enjoy.
It's probably already happened by now. I hope it's good.
Right.
Oh no, sorry, Scott. Yes.
Okay.
So the priest, no religion. No
priest.
So Megan. Congratulations, looks so beautiful, simple but elegant. A few questions. Who got the most emotional at the wedding?
Oh, wow. I was very emotional. However...
your parents, though.
My parents were very emotional, and my brother.
Oh, actually, your brother, definitely.
My brother.
He gave like...
He's like a dude, bro.
Yeah, he's a total dude, bro. He's like, even though he wasn't born in America like you were, he's the most American man I've ever
met. He gave a reading. He did a reading, which was Dickens. And he was so he choked up the whole time. He was so emotional, and it felt like okay when he started, but then he just started saying the words, and then it was like the most emotional thing.
Yeah.
It was really beautiful. I would say he was probably one of the more emotional people. However, I would say your best man was also basically like
Ruth,
crying,
my best lady,
constantly.
Yes, she was actually.
And then also a good friend of mine also came up to me afterwards and was just like smiling and crying and being like, "I'm so happy for you. I can't stop crying."
My brother was like a baby actually, thinking about it, and like because he didn't have to give a speech or anything, he kind of went under the radar, but he was basically just crying the whole time.
Yeah, and there was a moment where everyone was silent and like the ceremony was happening.
There's us walking down the aisle to
yeah.
Jana Newsom, by the way.
Yeah.
And my brother, who you will see, that you probably don't know he's my brother in these photos,
Yeah, he
but
looks
he's
very
a
different.
really big guy, and he's bald with a big beard, and he's beautiful. He's just like me, but like better looking and more like popular. It makes me sick.
But there's a bit where like
And there's
everything
my dad,
was silent.
There's my dad and your mum. This is where we had the champagne
Little
reception,
champagne after.
which is like, and there's your dad,
Yeah.
looking just so cool. Your
Yeah,
dad's
he-
so cool. And what I love,
Sorry, really quick story. Someone came up to me in the pub when we were all having a dinner in a pub and was like, "Hey, are you Sean Connery? I love your work." And my dad's like, haha, no. And the guy's like, love you.
yeah, I didn't believe him that he wasn't Sean Connery. It's a bit weird. And ironically, Sean Connery now lives in Marbella, where we went before.
I know, right? So funny.
So there's my best woman, Ruth,
Yeah.
who looked awesome in her suit, by the way.
Yeah, she looks gorgeous.
And your dad, and my uncle Steve, who's
Yeah.
excellent. There's your
Man of honor.
Jason.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great day.
Oh,
Anyway, carrying on. Where did you get married? How did you decide on the venue? I think we've covered that
Yeah.
one. Did you write your own vows or just use? Yes, we did write
wrote
our own
them,
vows.
totally.
I wrote mine the night before,
same.
as did you.
I wrote mine the night before, but then I revised them in the morning.
There's my brother.
Yeah,
Right there. Yeah.
there he is.
And my mum wearing an excellent
Yeah.
pink jacket.
Aw.
Yeah. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah. It felt really important that we wrote our own things, I thought. And I think they came out pretty well.
Yeah, they were really good. I was happy. Taliesin, you always wear a suit, so by default, you just attended your wedding in casual wear. Fact. Although it was a suit that we bought specifically.
It was a specific
and it was tweed, and you can see that
beautiful tweed
the
suit.
waistcoat is very old-fashioned because
Yeah,
it's very high.
I loved that. I thought
Very
it was
high,
so cute.
like Anthony Hopkins wears in Westworld.
Exactly.
I noticed
Yeah,
recently.
I did.
Yeah.
That thought also crossed my mind.
Because everyone else, like, so this fashion now to have very low cut waistcoats,
Yeah.
but mine was very high.
It was, yeah.
I liked it.
I loved it.
Congrats to you both. My question is, how long did you plan on getting married until you actually did? Quite a while, actually.
We were engaged for about 1.5 years before the wedding.
Yeah. Which isn't that long at all,
Well, the
really.
thing is,
but
no,
these days kind of is.
We got married. God, so confusing. We got engaged, and then we kind of like let it sit for a little bit, and then we kind of like had some ideas, but we didn't really plan. Then basically after that Christmas, about 6 months before the actual wedding, we were like, let's do this, let's plan this and make it happen. So I'd say we did about 6 months of planning in the end.
It took us a long time to decide on the venue
It
because we
did,
chose the
yeah,
Swan, and
yeah.
then we kind of noped out on the Swan because you were still having doubts. You were like, actually, maybe I would like the big like country
Well,
wedding.
we kind of
and stuff.
thought about it, and then we did actually try to book it, and then they double booked us.
Oh, yeah.
They double booked a wedding. I loved everything
almost
about our
went
venue,
so wrong.
but that was literally one moment when I got the phone call that my wedding was double booked when I went into 100% bridezilla mode.
Yeah.
And I was at
It's the one
work,
moment.
and I was like, "Rah!" It was all good in the
Sorry,
end.
this guy in the black t-shirt, by the way, is my friend from school, Matty. And when I say school, I mean drama school. Me and Matty lived together. We were best friends. We were actually in a documentary together about the Bristol Vic Theatre School, which is where we both studied. And we were like inseparable. We played brothers all the time.
Oh.
But I hadn't seen him in 6 years
Yeah.
because we'd had a bit of a falling out. And before the wedding, we kind of like, I contacted him and I was like, look, I'm getting married. Please, can we patch this up?
Yeah.
And he was like, yes. And he didn't make it difficult in the slightest. And we went out and we had the best time.
It was
I remember
lovely.
you came out with us.
Yeah.
And after we'd been out together, you were just like, I've seen you with friends,
Yeah.
but I've never seen you with anyone that you just clearly like
Yeah.
as much as
And like
Matty.
love.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's like
and,
real
and
love,
it was a very
friendship.
it's a very brotherly love that we have.
Yeah,
And,
it's really wonderful. It's like an amazing thing
And
to
he was the
witness,
star of the
really.
wedding. Everyone loved Matty.
Yeah, and his little t-shirt.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
showed up in
he's,
a
oh,
black
he's so
t-shirt.
beautiful.
He is
And he's so nice to hug. You feel so safe when you hug Matty.
He's so buff, and he's always touching you.
It's true.
he's
And
always
because he
like-
knows it. And
Yeah,
you're like,
I know.
you hug him,
And
and
you're
you're
like,
like, oh, God, that's really nice.
You
I like
can
this.
just do that.
I really like this.
Yeah,
this
he's
is great.
Like just giving the kisses
Yeah.
all over the place.
And
Oh, I loved it.
I'm glad he's like properly gay these days as well.
Yeah.
Because he was always like on the verge.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, he's embraced it.
So great. What a great guy. Thank
Yeah.
you, Matty. You're not watching this because you're not a patron, but you're great. He doesn't know what WoW is. He has
Yeah.
no idea. It's brilliant. Stephen Lamb says, are you thinking of a WoW wedding? Yeah, again, we did touch on it, which I was really glad.
talk about it
And
as
also
well.
members of... Oh, there's our cake, by the way.
Yeah, very similar.
And there's
to
the
Lovely.
view from the balcony.
That's the view from
Isn't
our
that
yeah.
amazing? Isn't
Yeah.
that the best thing?
We had the best view of London. From, it was so good.
But yeah, I was really glad when Wow got in there in some way.
Yes.
How long do you believe you should be together before getting engaged?
Huh.
Asks a live macaroon. Well, gosh, who even knows?
Yeah,
Like,
whatever
we were
it
together.
feels
We
right.
were together for 4
4
years.
years, yeah. But even then, I think 4
And
years.
it was pretty much 6 years before we got married.
Yeah.
But
'Cause this
4
year's
years
6
felt about
years.
right. I specifically didn't. I held off proposing until it had been 4 years as well, because that just felt.
It feels
better.
good. And we were both, like, when we met, we were both in kind of, like, precarious, just weird phases in life when you're in your 20s. God, we were in our 20s when we met.
Yeah.
Um,
Only just.
Only just. Well,
For me,
I was
yeah.
fully in my 20s. And I was in a phase where I was like, I literally don't want a relationship. Dudes suck. And I love that we found each other and went through this like phase of life together, and then like I think it felt right when we got engaged and married and
Yeah,
stuff.
totally.
But it's different for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know when you know, don't you?
Yeah.
That's the thing. So I would never judge anyone if they got like engaged incredibly quickly.
No way.
And I would
If you
never
know,
think
you
I would
know.
never think it was like destined to be if they got engaged after 10 years.
No,
So, like it's different for everyone.
It's yeah.
Um
Do you have plans to make a new character in your life?
oh, a little one. I'm really nervous talking about that kind of thing because like
You never know.
you don't even know if you can.
No,
That's the
God,
thing.
yeah.
And then you don't, because we have friends who've been through the ringer with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And gone through tragedies and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you know, I just don't like talking about it.
Yeah.
If it happens, it happens. And if not, you know, we've got loads of plushies.
We have so many.
And we'll get a cat, it'll be fine.
Exactly.
Rick Green says, I'm pretty envious of you both to be able to find someone you did with the love of Wow. My question is, how did you meet? We have covered this before, so
think
let's
we
do it. Let's do it
have.
very quickly. We met in the Natural History Museum.
Yes.
We were both
working
doing the
really
worst
horrible
jobs in the world.
Like really, like polyester uniform.
Oh my
front of house.
God,
Really.
because you think the Natural History Museum is going to be great, don't you?
Yeah.
It's not though.
I mean, I do love it. I love it.
The
It's
museum's
amazing.
brilliant, but
Museum is
like
brilliant,
I
but
worked in the
working there
shop,
was really...
but I managed to get myself out of the shop and I managed to just be selling guidebooks on the steps. And that was like an upgrade. That was like a promotion.
Lord. Anyway, we met because...
Oh, because some guy I was working with selling guidebooks who I hated called Zach. And if you're watching this, Zach, I hate you. I still hate you. You're a terrible man. But thank you, by the way. He was like, and I'd literally just not bumped into, but seen Evertel walk into work that day as one of like the new batch of people.
Yeah.
And I was also aware that it was my last day there.
Yeah.
And when Zach came up to me and was like, oh, I really like that American girl who's working on the ticket desk. Do you think I should ask her out? And I was like, I hate you, Zach. And that girl is definitely going to humiliate you. So, yes, I think you should. I think you should definitely ask her out, Zach. And he asked her out, and she said yes.
And I said yes. He was so smooth about it. Also, I knew literally no one in London, so I was like, yep.
And he came back, and he was like,
Did
yeah,
it?
she said yes, we're going to go out on a date. And I was like, oh, what?
What?
But after my initial like annoyance died down, I was like, wow, if she said yes to Zach, she'll probably say yes to me. And that thought crossed my mind, but I didn't really think much more about it. And then, just by complete fluke, happened to go upstairs to the canteen and get my lunch, and happened to sit and happened to see Evertel sitting in the corner of the room by herself, and then happened to see her get up and leave to walk back to go to work. And I was like, do you know what? It's my last day here, because I'm going to a music festival, and then I'm not going to come back because this is horrible. And I was like,
You know what?
God. Okay, so I just ran after her, and I was like, hey, hi, hello,
That's actually kind of how it went.
yeah, and I was like, I'm really sorry. This is a really bad thing to do, but I'd really like to ask you out. I'm not going to ask for your number, but here is my number, and if you want to give me a call, that'd be really awesome. I'm going away for a week, but I'll be back soon.
Keep in touch.
Yeah, and if you wanna go out, that'd be really awesome. And you were like really nice about it, and you took my number and you went down the stairs, and I was like, okay, fine, whatever. I'd have regretted it if I hadn't done that. And I sat back down to eat my lunch, and I went back to work, and you texted me before the end of the day.
Yes, from the toilet.
Oh, that makes it even better.
And then I think I saw you as we were both leaving, and
well,
that was one of
bad.
those like,
yeah, because I was like, I got the text and I was like, oh yes, awesome, brilliant. And then as I was like dressed in my civvies leaving the museum,
yeah,
we bumped into each other. You were still at work, and it's like, hey, we'll get that date.
See you.
Yeah. So, and in the mean, I went to a music festival with my brother. You actually went on a couple of dates with Zach.
I did.
It didn't work out, surprisingly, amazingly. And then we started dating after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun.
Yeah.
And Zach turned out to be a psycho who never stopped texting you.
Never.
Anyway, so you've mentioned that a Warcraft question. You mentioned that Sao Fang needs to be war chief of the True Horde. However, I would like to rebuttal, if I may. Sao Fang ends up in a cage, just like after the Second War. Very true. If that really the best outcome for the Horde, la la la. Yes, well, I think we've all seen how it works out with Sao Fang. Well, we haven't seen how it works out yet, but I still that's clearly how Blizzard is setting up. Like, Sao Fang and Bane are the true heart of the Horde. Sylvanas is something else. Mm-hmm. She's like the true spirit of the Horde. It's weird because the Horde is all these different things.
It is.
The Horde is so much more complex than the Alliance.
Yeah.
You know? And it's weird. We'll do a video on it.
Yeah.
Ellie.
Yeah.
IRL friend.
Your really sort of relationship goals. First, the pics are amazing. Thank you. Second, Evie, you're so gorgeous and you so elegant. Thank you. Third, handsome suit tally. And now for the question: Were there anything WoW-related puns or funny things thrown into speeches at the wedding? So there was a mention of Azeroth. Did you manage to get some non-presents-ish stuff and scramble some money together for your big Japan honeymoon?
Most people gave us money.
Yeah, because we specifically said
don't give us presents.
Don't give us presents. We've been living together for years. Like, don't buy us the crock pot. Although we could use a crock pot. But, like, don't buy...
We don't want a crock
We
pot.
want to choose our crock pot. It was just... And we didn't want to
true.
do, like, a registry. And it just... So, yeah. So we were just,
So we had, like, a table
contribute to the honeymoon
for presents,
fund.
which people left, like, cards and presents on. My Danish friend, Josephine Nielsen, who is actually a famous novelist in Denmark.
Yeah.
And her partner... father of her children, who is a famous artist in Denmark.
Yeah, they're so cool.
Gave us one of his
prints.
Pictures.
It was so cool. And some people gave us really thoughtful little gifts. Like
someone bought
really
some
nice,
sake.
Yeah, sake and a little like sake like cup set, which was so gorgeous.
So great.
Yeah, like
We
a
just got
voucher to
great
get
presents.
some wine.
But lots of people gave us money. Whether through like check or just cash, but we had like a little box for cards, which had like a little slot in it, which said thank you.
Yeah.
And someone put a £20 note in there.
40. Someone put 40 quid in there. It was,
which is not what it was for.
No, it's like, it's not a money box.
It's not a tip box.
Like for cards.
No, it's literally just for cards.
It was,
whoever that was, because we still don't know.
You.
Thank you so much. There were still some presents who we don't know where they're from.
Yeah. I think we figured it out.
Oh,
actually.
did we? Okay,
yeah,
great.
I think we've sorted it.
But yeah. So yes, basically,
a little something to
we've
help
got
us
we've got a little something to help us on the way.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
So I'm
which is amazing.
so looking forward to going to Japan.
Cannot wait.
It's gonna be so
we might
good.
ask you guys for your tips.
No, we won't. Oh, not like money tips, as in like tips of where to go.
Yeah.
No, I feel like we need to make that very clear.
This is Patreon. Like, I'm not going to ask for tips on Patreon.
But what I'm saying is, because it's Patreon,
don't give us your tips.
These are people that already help us out.
You're right.
They might take that the wrong way.
Don't give us your tips.
Don't
give us like your Twitch tips.
Don't do
but
that.
give us your like what to do in Japan
that
tips.
Would be awesome. We'd really like
Thanks,
that. Thank you.
guys.
Put them on the comments to this video.
Yeah.
Alicia says, my question for your Q&A. Did you follow tradition, something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue? Mm-hmm. I think you did, didn't you?
Yeah, so I had a bracelet that was old from my mom. I had a ton of new stuff.
Are you okay for wine, Joseph?
I'm good for wine, thank you very much.
I'm a foot taller than Camille, so I drink a lot.
I had... so the bracelet was... There were also a couple of things that were borrowed that I had. Something blue. I'm pretty sure I had something blue. I gave something to my mom, which was a handkerchief, which had blue embroidery on it. So
that was kind of like it.
Yeah, so that's what I counted as our something blue. So we followed it, and I got 2 lucky tuppence. Is that a tuppence?
Oh yeah, in your bouquet.
Yeah.
Because they dropped out.
Yeah,
in the middle of the ceremony.
Yeah, so I got a lucky tuppence, which is a tradition here, from 2 people. So I put one in my bouquet and carried it with me. Yeah, it's really nice.
Wayne says, congrats, you two always look great together. And thanks for all the fish drops. I've really enjoyed the content and appreciate your time together. Was it hard for you not to talk about WoW during the wedding? Yes, especially as people from our guild were there.
Yeah.
That's
to
the
be
thing.
honest, I didn't have that problem. But
I spent about half an hour on the balcony of our wedding talking about WoW with people.
okay, no, you're right. That's fair because we were talking about like the channel and WoW and
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, so it wasn't like hard not to talk about it because we did talk about it. We just chatted about it and stuff.
What do your families think of your YouTube WoW lives? My mum and dad, literally every time I meet them, tell me how they watch all of our videos. They don't understand a single thing in them, but they watch them and they watch all the adverts through to the end.
It's very sweet.
They're doing us a big, big favour.
It's very sweet.
Like my family obviously have no idea, because obviously the channel now is like relatively successful. In fairness, they have no idea. They know it's good. What's happening? And like they watch the videos, and my mum literally last night was like, "I enjoy the way you talk about things."
Oh.
So I don't understand what you're talking about most of the time, but I enjoy the little jokes and stuff, and I think it's fun. And like she can appreciate that she enjoys the content without really knowing about the content,
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah.
And your mum still doesn't know what we do because we're not allowed to tell her.
No, we are. I think it would just be really confusing for them.
It took Evertel's parents a long time that's unfair because your dad is really chilled out, but it took your mum and your brother a long time to get their heads around the idea that I'm self-employed.
Yeah, even doing like freelance work.
Even
I
before
think
the
for
channel.
that- yeah, I think because they're kind of like immigrants and they see, they have a different idea of like security and stuff. So so I think that they're still kind of coming to terms with how it all works.
Whereas my parents are both actors. My dad is an actor and now he's a director. And quite successful. They make their livings off it, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
They always have done
What
since
more
I
do
was
you
born.
need?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And my brother's an actor as well. So
Yeah.
I went to drama school.
You're in that, yeah.
So I was an actor for like 10 years before the channel started
Yeah.
and what have you. And I'm still technically an actor now, but I just don't have time for it anymore. I've always been self-employed.
Yeah.
Like forever. I've done some jobs which have been not self-employed, but even then I've always kept up my self-employedness. And it's something that your parents don't quite understand.
Yeah.
And which we've had to explain.
Yeah.
And things like that. So
And I still have like an IRL full-time job.
Yeah.
While this is all happening.
we're
and
trying to
stuff,
work
'cause
out a way
it's-
of actually just getting
just
you
focusing
to
more
at least
on
do
the
a couple of
channel and
days.
stuff.
Like, and obviously you work
I
on
mean,
the
I
channel.
do, but like...
but you kind of do it aside from your job at the
Yeah.
moment. We'd like to find a way to
Kind of integrate
do
it.
less of your actual IRL job.
Yeah.
But your IRL job means an awful
I
lot
like
to you. And
my
like,
IRL
yeah,
job,
exactly.
so-
Yeah, like,
yeah.
it's crazy. Like, literally in your IRL job at the moment, you're doing an Overwatch tournament.
Yeah, we
Which
are.
is
We're doing an
incredible.
Overwatch tournament with families, which is kind of fun.
It was awesome. And
Yeah.
like, also, you're at the cutting edge of what you do, and it's really good. But we're trying to work out a way of getting you professionally
Yes.
involved with the
Yeah.
channel as well.
Yeah.
So,
So,
but the reason I started talking about that was
Yes.
because obviously my parents know about it and appreciate it, and your parents don't so much. But there was this beautiful moment where we're taking your mum to the airport, the plane station, on a very early morning tube, like 6:30, to get to
So
Heathrow.
early. Oh.
And we were on the tube with her, and she was sitting down the tube, and we were both standing up. And this guy, this like, in his 40s?
yeah, he was just like, congratulations.
And
we're
he's like, can I get a photo with you guys? And that's all he said. And we were like, why?
yeah.
And he was like, well, because you are the famous YouTubers,
Oh,
Talia Snowdell.
yeah,
And we're like,
yeah.
all right, mate, yes,
Yeah,
you can.
fine.
And he got a photo with us,
Yeah,
and
it's
it was
really
really good.
sweet.
And we had a little chat, and it was really nice. And he's a really nice guy. His name escapes me right now,
Yeah.
but he was an awesome man. He watched this little channel with his son,
Yeah,
and we
super
had
sweet.
we had a really nice conversation. And then as we left the tube, your mum was like, Taliesin, who is that man?
Yeah.
Was he a friend of
She's
yours?
like, is that a friend?
And
Yeah.
you very kindly stepped in and went, look, you know those videos that Taliesin makes? Well, lots of people watch those videos.
Yeah, yeah.
So lots of
He's a
people
fan.
know who he is
Yeah,
and
yeah.
know who we are.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's kind of a little bit famous.
Yeah, yeah.
And your mum was so impressed.
Yeah.
She was like,
It's like,
So, gentlemen who talked to
Thank
us on the
you.
train then, Thank you
You
so
sold
much.
it to her
And
really
actually,
well.
we get a lot of emails from people and like tweets from people saying stuff like, "Oh, I saw you out, and
yeah.
but you looked really busy. You were with your family or your friends or stuff, so we didn't come up and say hi." No,
Come say hi.
we're not famous enough for that to be annoying.
No, seriously,
like,
it's not,
If
like-
you see us,
Happens like once a year.
like especially if we're with people,
Yeah.
you come
Oh
up and
my
you say hello.
gosh, yes.
And you ask for a photo because that makes us look so cool.
It does.
You have no idea how much that means to us. So obviously in BlizzCon it happens like every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But like out in the world, it's only happened like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And it always makes us feel amazing.
Yeah.
So please do.
I'd never feel like you. The other questions in this question
sorry.
are about kids, which we've already addressed.
Yes. I myself am QA with an indie company, which allows me to be at home
Yeah,
with my
that's-
kid. Yeah, actually, yeah, totally. Well, that's something we thought about. If we did have kids,
Yeah.
It's really good that we
Yeah.
can live anywhere.
Yeah, it's
because
pretty
the thing, we live in London because we both love London.
Yeah.
But if you didn't work in London, we might be thinking about moving.
Totally.
Because obviously we could
expensive.
never afford to buy a house in London.
Yeah.
We're renting and stuff. We might be able to buy a house somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So it's something, but
Yeah.
like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should look exciting wedding. Would you be happy to share more of the photo shoot with us? Hello. Oh, look at that! That's a good photo
That's
right
a
now.
great one. Oh, I love
That's all the cool kids
those.
right there.
Oh.
Yay! So Adam, my third best man,
Oh my
didn't turn up to many of
God.
these photos, and he's the guy that you'll see in just a minute when it's me and my best people
With his
'Cause it's-
shirt
okay,
untucked and his
me,
tie undone.
It's me and my brother, who's the big bald guy with the beard, and my Ruth, my actual proper best man, who like just looks beautiful, obviously, and Adam, who's my other best man, who's like my oldest school friend.
Mm-hmm.
Who just refused to put on his suit properly.
Yeah.
We hired him a suit, and he untucked the shirt, and he
Took off the jacket.
Ah, screw that guy.
It's
Not
fine.
screw that guy. He's
It's
his
fine.
name, by the way, is Adam West, which is hilarious to people of my age because that's the guy that played Batman in the '60s
Oh,
series.
nice.
He got a lot of shit for that in
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
ENT. It's not.
I
When are
guess
you coming to Utah?
Let's
That's
come
a question.
to Utah. Well, we might be going out west for what might
Hang on,
be
I can't
my.
find that. I need to get it on the screen. There we go.
We might be going out west for maybe when my brother gets married. So who knows?
Actually,
might be in your
genuinely.
head.
Yeah, we'll be out there for that,
Yeah.
which will be next summer. Yeah, awesome. Hello and congratulations, wedding. I'm getting married in November this year, so our busy preparation time is here. Is there anything that you wish you had considered or done that you didn't while preparing for your big day? There's Adam, by the way, in his untucked shirt.
Whatever, man.
I didn't.
That's another thing. Like literally, like people would be like, "Adam's not wearing his jacket," and I was like, "I just got married. I'm having a good time."
Let's not talk about
So-
Adam. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And I was like, no, literally, like I'm feeling so good right now that nothing can faze me.
My mum and dad look cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anything wish that we'd considered? You know what? I did think about this. I wish I'd have taken my veil off in the evening. I completely forgot. To
your
take
veil
my
was
veil
great,
off.
though.
I did love it. though. But you didn't get to see my kind of.
It was
open
never at any
back.
point over your face.
No. It was only just over the back. So I just kind of held it, and then when I danced in the night, I was also just holding it. And I kind of wish I'd just taken it off for a bit so you could just see like because I have a low back on the dress, which was quite cool. That's literally the only thing that has ever occurred to me. Also, I wish I'd toned my arms a bit.
I wish I'd written my speech a week before rather than the night before.
Really?
Yeah, because I freewheeled it because I knew I could.
Yeah.
But I wish I'd written, because the bits that were written were better than the bits that I freewheeled. So I wish I'd done that. That was about
That's
it.
fair.
That's a very...
I know, it's like that. I know, thinking about it, it's like.
I would have regretted it if I hadn't made contact with Matty again.
Yeah.
Because I was
Yeah.
very close to not making contact with Matty.
No, I'm glad you did.
And there were my two best friends from drama school who I kind of fell out with. Matty I fell out with, and Max I just kind of fell out of contact with.
Mm-hmm.
And both of them came to the wedding. Mm-hmm. And it could so easily have not have been the case. I could so easily have just not got back in, because I was so scared. You know I was. I was so nervous about calling Matty
Yeah.
and getting in contact with him. And props to him, he made it so easy. Like the second I did, he was like, "Oh, I'm so glad you got in contact." Blah blah blah. But he didn't have to be like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it would have been a massive regret to me if I hadn't. And I'm so glad I did. Because you want all the people you really care about there.
Oh God, yeah.
And and I genuinely considered not inviting him.
But you did, so it all
yeah,
worked
yeah,
out.
no, I know, but that would have been a massive regret
Yeah,
to me if I
I
hadn't.
get that.
So yeah, just swallow your pride, bite the bullet, and anyone that you want to be there,
Just
even if you
do
had
it.
like a big falling out, just
Yeah.
call them
Yeah.
and just be like, because they want to be there as well.
Yeah.
Last, this is even a question. It's just a comment.
Congrats, guys. It looks like it was a wonderful wedding, and I wish you both long and happy lives together.
It was a wonderful
Thank
wedding.
you.
Thank
It
you.
was.
And thus concludes
Yeah.
our wedding Q&A.
Oh, it's a long one.
Leeds are equal again.
Oh boy.
We'll see how this ends up. Pablo Hernandez, who used to play for Swansea.
That's rough.
Oh, well, never mind. Leeds are the team to beat this season, so we're doing okay. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to not edit this tonight. I'm going to eat the dinner that we've kind of half prepared. We're going to watch Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
And then we might even play some WoW and go to bed.
I hope so.
We'll have the Ashara video out sometime tomorrow as well,
Ooh.
because Gamescom's tomorrow. I'm saying tomorrow, it's like today for people who are watching this. But guys, thank you so much for these questions. Thank you so much for all your love and support through these last couple of months, which have been so intense.
Yeah.
And
Gosh, they've
so
been
weird.
crazy, haven't they?
Well, look at how long it's taken us to record this video. The next video that'll be out will be our new office tour.
Hey.
The new backdrop came today, so we're putting that up.
Yep.
Once that's up, we'll give you an office tour. There are wires everywhere.
We'll fix
Stuff
it.
everywhere at the
We'll
moment.
make it
yeah,
nice.
it'll be great. But thank you. This is probably about 2 hours long, so we're gonna say good night. For me, Taliesin.
And me, Evitel. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
And letting us gush a bit about our wedding.
Yeah,
'cause it was really nice.
It's a bit indulgent, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But
But it felt good.
look at that, and now we're on the most indulgent photos of all.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
our little
Yeah.
sesh.
Until next time, cheerio.
Bye.